I have read a lot of books since the last time I made any videos. Because I didn't make any new ones because I didn't know when I was gonna get to post them again, and I was gonna have to figure out YouTube. Anyway, let's just go over all of them a little bit rapid fire because there's a lot, and this is just the physical books. Um, First off, I read The Darkening by Sunya Mera. I was a little bit disappointed in this. I ended up giving it 3 stars. It was just a little underwhelming, which really sucks because I was really excited about this because she's really fucking good at marketing. I think that this could have been amazing, but it needed to be another 100 to 200 pages so she could really flesh out everything that she's trying to do in this. I am still going to read the sequel because I am interested in seeing what's going to happen, and I plan on reading that after my current read, which is The Missing of Claire de Lune. So I'm still very interested, but this was just a little underwhelming. Of course, I read A Winter's Promise. I'm obsessed with the Mirror Video, or the Mirror Visitor. I can't talk. I'm obsessed with this series, The Mirror Visitor. I have a video that I already made talking about this series, so I will be posting that soon, and you can just watch that. I read Winter's Orbit. Yes, there is a theme. I was trying to get through all of my winter books in January. Like, if it literally had the word winter in the title, I was trying to read it. I loved this. It felt like A Strange and Stubborn Endurance, but in space. So if that is up your alley, you need to check this one out. I'm excited to read the sequel, which is with different characters. Read The Sisters of Winterwood, another winter book. This is Jewish folklore. Very fun, very fast paced. It had this really cool thing where half of it was kind of written in like this pseudo verse, and then the other half was like normal prose because there's 2 different sisters, so each point of view had a different thing. And I think it was a really interesting narrative choice because I feel like it kind of fit the characters, because you have Leia, who can turn into a swan, and she is kind of flighty and everything, and I feel like having her point of view in the pseudo verse like really kind of enhance that kind of flighty nature, whereas Liba, she's a bear, and so all of her prose is very grounded and very detailed and giving you the setting and everything. It was a really cool read, and I enjoyed it a lot. Then I read The Dollmakers by Lynn Buchannon. I really enjoyed this. It's a standalone. It goes super fast. It is so hard to write a book where your female main character is basically a brat, like the biggest brat you've ever met. She really was not told no as a child, and you still love her and you're rooting for her. Like, she's so unlikable, but you get to watch her go on this journey. My only complaint really about this book is that it didn't have chapters, and I hate that, but this is the old Terry Pratchett method where there's none. It kills me. Like, there's little breaks in some places. Can't even find one. But I hate when books don't have chapters. It's not a choice I'm a fan of, but do whatever. I still really enjoyed the book, and that's not enough to be like, this is going down a star. I think I gave it 5 stars because I just loved it so much. And then my book club this month was reading The Memory Police. This is by Yoko Ogawa. This is a dystopian book, but like in the most gentle way possible. It starts out as a surveillance state because in this world things are just disappearing. Like one day all the birds just disappear and then people start to forget them. But if you are one of the few people who can remember them, the memory police are going to come get you. So it was like an apocalypse, the most gentle apocalypse ever. The prose is really beautiful and well done. I really enjoyed this, but I do prefer my books to be a little bit more actiony. This was a little bit more lit-fic than what I typically read, but still very good, very well done. I finished every single thing in the World of the White Rat. Like, these have been my audiobooks, so I read the Clocktaur Wars, which is a duology, and then I read Swordheart. I didn't read these in this order. I actually went backwards, and I finished all of the Paladin books, which is the Saint of Steel series. And this has just led me down a road where I'm going to read everything that T. Kingfisher's ever written because I have loved every single one of her books. But I think The World of the White Rat is really where she shines. Swordheart was perfect. And then whenever I finished it, I happened to see that there's a special edition coming out of it. So I have already pre-ordered that because I don't have a physical copy anyway. These books are so cute. If you want like a fantasy rom-com, you want to go check out this series. The duology that comes first, it's a little bit less on the romantic side, and these do have light spice, but like it's not detailed, if that makes sense. Like they go really fast. So if you're not someone who likes spice in your books, I still think you would enjoy these because the romance aspects are just really cute and funny. I laughed out loud so many times reading these. So yeah, even if you are not a fan of spice, give these a chance because they go super fast. Like you could skip forward like 30 seconds on the audiobook and then you're going to be past it. The first one, the first duology feels very Dungeons and Dragons style. Particularly like the movie. I'm sorry, I don't play the game. But the Dungeons and Dragon movie, that energy is what we're bringing to the Clocktaur Wars. Swordheart and Paladin's Grace, though, might be my favorite things that was in this world. And then other audiobooks. I did the Memory Police's audiobook. Oh, I finished Fury of the Gods. I cried multiple times, but when I cried the most was whenever I read the acknowledgement section and Gywnne talked about the grief after losing his daughter. This trilogy is incredible. I highly recommend it. It's just so well done, and I appreciated every bit of it. And also I appreciate having an author who really doesn't seem to care to kill off characters. I like that commitment. And then lastly, I finished the second book of the Dungeon Crawler Carl stories because I just needed something light after the Memory Police, and it was just as silly and goofy as the first one, and I will probably be reading the entire series. Oh my gosh, I just now realized I didn't talk about any of the ebooks. These will go a lot faster. I read Pestilence and I read War by Laura Thalassa. I'm unimpressed. I think the books are too long, and I think that the spice is super disappointing. She talked about how these are her spiciest books, and I'm like, babe, if these are your spiciest, I don't even know what you would do if you read some of the other books I've read. The world building is cool and unique. It's just not grabbing me. I just think they're fine. They're absolutely fine. I don't hate them. I don't love them. I think I gave both books 3 stars. Oh, you know what? I also read a book I'm going to throw a picture up on. It's a physical book. I got it from a publicity company. It's called Eye of the Nomad. It is the only book I've given 1 star this year so far. I was just bored out of my mind reading this. It's about Genghis Khan's like advisor or whatever. It's a fictional retelling of it, and I could tell this author knows a lot about this subject. This felt like reading a textbook. Just not a fan. It never really held my interest. And then the other ebooks I read, I'm really into Emily Antoinette's Monsters of Moonvale. I read Behold Her, and I'm currently reading Afterglow. Super cute. I love these books. They have excellent plus size rep. Good amount of kink in them, which was fun to read. And they're really good books. They just make me feel good and fuzzy. And then I also read Here Be Dragons, which is a prequel to Maggie Mayhem's Obsessive Monsters series, I think is what it's called. These books are just like fluff for my brain. I think they're a lot of fun. I think that's everything now that I've read like this month.